have been found under violation of Nintendo law, please be arrested. Thank you.
What? No, please, come on. Please be arrested.
Can you imagine? It's like Martin A's voice doing that.
Please
Get arrested.
Be arrested. Or like whoever's voicing Wario now, which I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
I have not yet heard the voice. I am taking David's... oh yeah, guys, by the way. Wahoo! Welcome to this episode of today of the Double D Experience, where we're gonna, at least for this one, because just a little context, your boy's gonna be going over to his motherland in the next couple days, and by the time this episode comes out, I would have already been there, or I've already gotten there, and so we're gonna be recording a couple episodes today just for your viewing pleasure. Hearing pleasure. And at least for this one today, we're gonna be talking about the direct that had just happened a couple days ago. And funny story, we wanted to record an episode as a reaction to it when it dropped on Friday, but we couldn't because Riverside had like terminal cancer or some shit, and it just would not work. And
clearly it wasn't terminal because it's
yeah, it was in remission. It was in remission, basically. It had cancer, it was in remission, but we couldn't use it, so basically we had to hold this off until about today, essentially, which is the Monday of this week, to record it, because we just had no time during the weekend. But
that is our justification for dropping a podcast about the Nintendo Direct a week after it already aired. We wanted to do it sooner, but we literally couldn't.
Or if anything, maybe this will go up even earlier, just because we want to like at least keep the whole like freshness of the topic like in mind. But if we can, but essentially, yes, this episode is gonna be purely about the Direct, and we're gonna be rating it. We're gonna be giving our thoughts on it, and I only have one game that I was excited for throughout that entire lineup, and lo and behold, it was not a new game from Nintendo, which is probably the reason. I am the reason why Nintendo does what they do. I am the reason.
What?
I am probably the reason why they do what they do.
Because I had something to say, but I don't give a fuck. Elaborate.
Oh, sure. Of course. Well, as we all know, Nintendo hates their old shit. They hate their old shit. They hate their old shit so much that they take a shit on us who love their old shit. And they basically say, you're gonna like basically shove our faces to that pile of shit and just rub our faces all over it. Say, this is what we think about your love for our older games, shithead. And but I think Nintendo really does listen to DDE. I mean that, because the day of, we had that one episode where we talked about how Nintendo just hates their old games and also hates the fans of their old games. What do they fucking drop? What do they drop? Fucking remake of Thousand Year Door, arguably the best Super Mario RPG there is, next to the other remake we get.
It's been a couple of days since the announcement. And by the time that I'm editing this podcast, as well as the video essay I'm making about it, because I actually do have something important I feel like I need to say about it, I will actually fucking make and release that one. I swear on my life. I will fucking do it. Like, no, hold me to it.
Okay.
It's still...
I'll message you when I'm in Korea.
Okay.
Don't fucking forget. I'm gonna even leave you a voice message. Don't you fucking forget.
No, do it, I swear.
I don't care if your back is fucked up. You're gonna record that shit.
Well, now I got the fucking standing desk, so it doesn't matter.
True. Yeah, we'll continue.
It's... Even during the announcement, this is gonna be funny.
Mm-hmm.
I was more hyped for the Mario RPG announcement than I was for the Thousand Year Door remaster one.
Okay.
And it is not because I necessarily like Mario RPG more than Thousand Year Door. It's because the Thousand Year Door remaster, a week after it has already been announced, I'm not even kidding when I say the reality still has not set in.
Mm-hmm.
They actually fucking did it.
Yeah.
They actually finally fucking... Y'all, there were petitions.
Which Nintendo actually read.
Oh yeah. Sure. I think it is more likely that they probably listened to an episode of the Double D Experience than fucking give a
more
shit
likely, bro.
about that petition. I swear to God.
More likely.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I swear to God. Even with our view counts or whatever, I'm saying that because I know that they, pay attention to gaming vlogs and shit. Considering how much they used to want to control them with the Nintendo Ambassador YouTube program when they tried to do that shit before.
It was low-key a police state with that program. It's like, you're going to say what we want you to say, and you stray from the script, and we'll take you out back and shoot you.
Thank God they got rid of that shit. That was such a bad era for Nintendo. But anyway, it literally still doesn't feel real. Like, when the book came on screen...
This is the fucking opening music!
And the opening music, Dennis, I didn't sit there with my jaw dropped. I literally just, my hand was in my face. Was
it like internal shock? It's like that kind of shock, you have it, you feel it, but your face just does not convey it at all.
That's the best way to describe it. I was literally in so much shock that it didn't set in. I'm like, they really did this. It's not a matter of
which I'm sure a lot of people were feeling. I'm sure a lot of people, because the subreddit is still not shutting the fuck up about the whole announcement.
This probably broke their fucking brain.
It probably did. It's the reason why, okay, again, this is a game that I grew up with and I never finished. Now I have a chance to pick it up again and play it and finish it. And again, I really do. I mean this unironically. Nintendo watches our shit. That's why you and anyone who's a newcomer to this podcast should also be listening to our shit, because we just speak. Well, we don't speak facts on this show, but we speak. With we don't deal with fucking facts on the show at all.
Maybe they just bugged my phone.
Maybe. I feel as if Miyamoto's got his ninjas on your ass, bro. And he's just you got your phone tapped.
As a seasonal employee, maybe they know my number. They have it. Maybe they fucking... All right, hold up. All right, and if that is the fucking case right now, please, new Star Fox, for the Switch, please remaster Assault for the Switch. That would be the best thing they could do. Remaster Assault for the fucking Switch. Let's do that.
Oh, I'd almost feel
make the controls for the land missions not shit. Oh, it'd be perfect.
But I almost feel 64 will be the one they attempt to remake first.
Yeah, but they already remade it.
I know, but they'll call it a remake. Because here's the thing, we got Thousand Year Door, right? Wind Waker is still console locked to fucking Wii U. And I feel in my heart of hearts that after Tears of the Kingdom, they're gonna be well, fuck, we're not gonna wait another 6 years for another Zelda. It's what can we remake? What's the last thing we could remake? There's gotta be something, right? And Aonuma was we got Wind Waker. Shit, yeah, fuck, get on that right now. Pull that fucking thing off the shelf, dust it off, and remake the shit out of it. Make it for the Switch.
I'd bet money that they're probably gonna remaster A Link Between Worlds. That was that really good 3DS one.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
They're
I really
probably
like that
gonna
one.
do that because they already remastered all the 3D ones. But yeah, I mean, if you guys need any more reasoning to know that they do, I'm not kidding. Nintendo does listen, and we'll get
to the DDE specifically.
We'll get into the nitty gritty of how you have to buy it. The only way they're gonna make more of these or bring Paper Mario or Mario RPGs back to form is if it sells more than Origami King. Which is why I'm literally making a video essay right now begging people not to pirate the Thousand Year Door remaster. I'm
just
actually
buy it, bro.
Yeah,
just buy it.
Even for the people who normally pirate games, I'm not endorsing or condoning that shit. You do you. I don't give a fuck. If you have your quarrels with Nintendo, whatever, just make that the one game that you do buy if you actually do want the shit to continue. But either way, they do listen, Dennis. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
They remastered Thousand Year Door. They skipped 64. A game that I feel is more warranted for a remaster as opposed to Thousand Year Door. A game that ran at 60 FPS on its original hardware. Can't say the same for 64. To say the least. That game looks way more outdated, understandably so. It's literally on weaker hardware than the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped the gun. Went straight to Thousand Year Door. No reason. I'm sure there's no reason for that, right? Right?
I almost feel, though, it's because of the fact that Thousand Year Door is a little bit more recent that they went for that one than 64. Because I think, well, for Thousand Year Door, the mechanics of RPG was a bit more fine-tuned. And I even think if you're going to remaster anything, go for the refined product rather than, like, kind of the, you know... It also, like, wasn't exactly, like... You know, I mean, the original Paper Mario wasn't exactly, like, a failure. Not that it was in any way. I'm just saying that at least, like, that was, like, a test run for them. And, like, we already had RPG Superstars for Super Nintendo. But this was a game that now was kind of bringing in, you know, the 64's hardware and trying to test it to see if, like, oh, we can make, like, a world, you know, as, let's say, we're imagining it. Because, you know, at least for... RPG Superstars, a lot of it was on a JPEG. So,
well, yeah. I mean, they've done this shit before all the time. They used to do it on astronomically weaker hardware, which is why people wanted the modern aesthetic of the modern Paper Mario games, which is better than Thousand Year Door. I will say that about Origami King. The game, obviously, it's on an HD console, but graphically, the paper aesthetic in, like, the modern Paper Mario games that a lot of people hate was finally perfected. They finally perfected the paper aesthetic. A lot of that shit, like, visually is, like, more stunning and looks cooler than Thousand Year Door. We have both now. They fucking put the best of both worlds together.
Which I'm very happy they did.
Yeah, right?
I did not just want, like, an upscaled version of the GameCube. I really, like, if they went that route, I actually, not would have been mad, but I felt as if, like, you already proved that at least art style-wise, the other games that have come after it look obviously better. And you decide to then take a step backwards. And, like, and people may argue, like, well, it's also, like, the whole symptom of, like, Super Mario 64. Like, they, like, I mean, well, Super Mario 64 wasn't remade. But at least in the collection, like, all they did was just kind of upscale it into, you know, 1080p. Because, like, everyone has a fucking 1080p, like, you know, a monitor nowadays and a computer. So at least, you know, I'm glad they went that route. And it's, like, one of those few rare times where they do mix the old and the new pretty well. And it actually... makes something great, because there are times when you do mix the new and the old and it's just like, what the fuck is this? And like, because at least direction wise, it's like, you know, I don't know what you're trying to do with this, because okay, for one, okay, you're respecting the old, you know, art style and everything, and at least even the game design wise, you're respecting it, but at the same time, okay, now you're gonna be shoving all this new stuff in. So it's like, you know, what is, like, there's a bit of a give and take. But in this scenario, when I saw that trailer, it just looked like it was just, it fucking mixed so well together. Yeah. I was like,
so good.
Fuck,
like the scene where, like, he's walking in the creepy steeple and, like, the fucking moonlight reflecting through, like, the rainbow glass. The environments look
so fucking good.
The hooktail shot and everything. Like, it doesn't feel like the kind of thing where, like, I feel like if they straight ported Thousand Year Door to the Switch, which again, a lot of people would have been okay with, a lot more people would have complained as well, and I think from a legacy standpoint, Nintendo wouldn't have wanted to do that.
No.
Because that game, graphically, comparing it to the modern Paper Mario games, they would have been like, why the fuck are you releasing it like this?
Yeah.
This looks like shit compared to Origami King. It just does. You know? And Origami King has its faults. We're not here to talk about that game. As much as I loved that game, you know, it was constantly hitting its head against the wall for a couple of different reasons.
Just art style-wise.
Art style-wise, the most visually pleasing Paper Mario game, not even close. Except maybe, actually, there's a whole different debate to that, but whatever. Point is, aesthetically, the paper aesthetic was finally perfected in the modern games, right? And applying that to Thousand Year Door just makes way more sense. A lot more people would be way more satisfied with a remaster rather than straight porting it. And I think, again, from a legacy standpoint, Nintendo felt like it would have looked like shit. It's not like porting a classic like Mario 64 that has aged so well still to this day. You know, Thousand Year Door has, like, you know, more modern upscale Paper Mario games to compare it to, so porting that would have made it look like shit by comparison. Porting Mario 64 does not make it look like shit by comparison, even when you put it in a collection of better looking games in the same genre with the same character by comparison, you know? Nintendo, trust me, they are so big picture. They know what they're doing when it comes to these ports and these remasters. Which, considering that this was literally Remasters, the fucking direct,
Yeah.
the Peach game, literally the only one
Mansion
in the
2.
Dude, the Princess Peach game was the only game in the entire direct that was not a port or a remaster.
Well, I mean, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a bit of a continuation, ain't it?
No, it's a straight. It's a remaster
Oh,
of the Game Boy
okay.
Advance
All right,
one.
never mind then. Because I thought it in my head, like, this looks new. It's just I never played it.
No, it's a remaster of the Game Boy Advance game. Well, let's go through the list very quickly, shall we? And dude, they even put Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door at the top left of this image,
as it deserves. Excuse you.
Then F-Zero 99, which is sort of a port, but not really. Which is a test, by the way. Please download that game and play it. It's literally free.
Yeah,
so we can get more
come on.
F-Zero.
Like this. You already suck dick from Nintendo anyway. Suck more dick. Just do
please.
it.
Just please do it.
Y'all love to complain about what they do, but y'all still buy their shit anyways. Do it. Bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which, by the way, so dumb of them to announce that now. They're saying it's coming out in summer of next year. Why would you announce a fucking remaster for a year later?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Why?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Like you should have fucking announced it like in the February Direct next year.
You know what they treated it as? They treated this shit as if it was like Breath of the Wild level of like hype. It's like, yo, like Luigi's Mansion 2's coming out. Everyone's like,
it's not stuck on the 3DS anymore. Aren't you all happy?
Yeah. They expected people to go like, yeah, but like,
yeah, baby.
But in reality, everyone's just like, basically what it was please clap. When in reality, that's what everyone's reaction to it was. It was just,
and it's
clap.
honestly the worst. Like, it's not a bad game by any stretch. It's a
No,
great
but
game.
it's
I don't
like,
care what
how
anyone
are you
says.
gonna put
It
that
is also
together
definitely
with
the worst
1000 Year
Luigi's Mansion
Door?
game.
Like,
Well, they announced the Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster in the last Direct.
oh, okay, all right.
They just showed more of it. Again, just don't announce a remaster for a year later unless your name rhymes with.
But
unless your name rhymes with Aper Dario, the Thousand Pier More, no one's gonna care if it comes out a year later.
let me
Come
also
on.
just say though, like, it's not. I don't know. There must be like probably 12 of you who just love Luigi's Mansion 2 like so much that like you cream your pants like at this news, mind you, even alone. But it's like, I have to say, it's maybe, I don't know, maybe like Nintendo sort of like didn't calculate into the fact that, you know, obviously Thousand Year Door would be like the main thing people are excited about.
No, they did.
Okay, fine.
No,
But
they
it's like, imagine if they didn't though.
They saved it for last. It was Dennis.
Oh,
it was their,
okay, no.
Dennis.
I didn't watch the full direct.
Oh yeah, you
that's
didn't watch
why.
the direct. Dennis.
Yeah.
It was literally and one more thing.
Motherfuckers.
It was literally their one more
They
thing.
knew.
Dennis,
Okay,
they
no,
knew
they
what
knew.
they were
They
doing.
knew.
Come
Yeah,
on.
They knew. Although to be fair though, every time I've watched a direct and like they've gone to like the last part, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, one more thing. Every time that I've like literally done that, every single time that I waited till the end and they went, oh, and one more thing. It was always a stinker. It was always a stinker that they fucking saved for last. I'm like, I waited like, because like sometimes the directs would be so goddamn long. And I waited a full hour and a half for stupid RPG that no one's gonna play 2 coming out next year.
Nintendo's among the most unpredictable companies in the world. They can announce banger after banger after banger after banger in a direct, like the last one, which was the greatest.
And then
direct
you'll
we
get
had in
sleepers
years.
like,
and then the one we had before that was Farmville Simulator after Farmville Simulator. They announced like 5 Farmville Simulators in one direct. Like, what were you thinking? But anyway.
and even saving those till the end. That's what fucking grinds my gears though.
If there are any YouTubers that can help us with this debate, please make a compilation of every and one more thing.
And then turning out to be.
Not
There's a
all
lot of them. There's a lot of them.
One of them was Smash Ultimate. Back in that 2018 direct way back in the day. That was their one more thing. I remember that. We lost our shit that fucking day.
Oh yeah, fair. I think I remember when the Sephiroth reveal came out. And like, you know, character trailers, like whenever they got released, like that was always like hype as shit.
They announced
But, like,
Sephiroth at the Game Awards in 2020.
Oh, they saved it till then.
Yeah.
They didn't have it for a Direct?
No. It was at the Game Awards.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Sephiroth is gonna break the internet no matter what. Like, they knew. They fucking knew.
Of course.
Like, might as well, like, I feel as if, like, you know, yeah, we gotta put this motherfucker on stage. Like, we can't save this, like, for people to live stream on their fucking computer.
So bad that they couldn't do that in front of a live audience because of COVID. You know.
Oh, yeah. Like, everyone was just collectively losing their shit in the room.
That fucking room would have, that would have caused a seismic shake.
Probably, yeah.
Honestly.
Like, security would have been actually scared as to, like, what the fuck's going on.
But anyway, I'm not even saving my rating for this Direct for the end. Because I'm saying it now. 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
It does not get a 4 out of 5. One announcement does not save it as a 4 out of 5. Even if it's fucking Paper Mario 1000 Year Door Remaster. Do you want to know why? Look at this. Pull up on Discord real quick, Dennis. Just look at the picture.
No, I'm seeing him. Yeah, no Star Fox.
See that picture? Okay, that wasn't it. fucking 2 out of 5 Direct now.
Already he loses 2 points because no Star Fox. I'm sorry, Nintendo. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules.
2 out of fucking 5 Direct now. No Assault Remaster. Fuck you. No, 3 out of 5 because there was a lot of people who said this Direct was mid, and I can't argue with them. And do you want to know why? It was fucking Remasters, the Direct.
Yeah.
Paper Mario 1000 Year Door Remaster, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, another Code Recollection, Mario RPG Remaster, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remaster, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 fucking remastered, Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass, Detective Pikachu Returns, WarioWare Move It, basically spiritual successor to WarioWare Smooth Moves, Prince Persia, Lost Crown, Remaster.
Among Us.
It was Remasters, the Direct.
Which, okay, off of that alone, I can agree with that rating.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of new shit, essentially, technically, a lot of new shit wasn't really announced. Which, you know, like okay, I can't blame them. To be fair, like after Tears of the Kingdom, and I even Pikmin 4, I think we're kind of done for big releases. For this year, like
I was gonna
for
say
big
that.
new releases.
I was gonna say
it won't
that.
be till next year's Direct, or like maybe Winters, that we'll kind of get a teaser of what's to come for next year. You know,
this was such an end of console Direct. It was such an end of console Direct. Nintendo's new console is dropping next year. We know it's gonna happen.
I even heard some rumors, some bit of news that apparently there was a meeting between.
You got a bit of news?
Between some Nintendo devs and the higher ups, and they were showing off the capabilities of, yeah, you guessed it, a new console, and they basically liked it, and I'ma probably buy it. So, like, it's not like, oh yeah, I mean, we already kind of, it's been telegraphed for how long now, you know, like we've kind of known for the last like 6 months that like this shit was gonna be coming, like, and I even feel though like it's the reason why I never got the OLED, cause I knew that this generation's probably gonna be over within either this year or next, and I'm probably gonna get the new one anyways. So it's like, why even just get like
Red OLED? They dropped that Mario Red OLED, and I can't. There's literally nothing in this world that I have less of a reason to buy, but I want it.
Just cause like it's red and it's Mario and I want it.
And Nintendo's sending me another Switch this year, so for the program. So I'm gonna have 2 Switches again, which is gonna be very nice.
Can I cop that off of you?
Don't you have one?
Well,
don't you have a Switch? What?
It's for someone else.
We'll talk about that later because I kind of want to keep the second Switch for reasons, but
what about the first one you got from them? Would you be willing to part with that?
I sold that years ago.
Fuck! Okay, never mind.
I sold that to my buddy, I sold that to Glentendo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was trying to get a Switch for his sister, but it was the beginning of COVID, and they were legit impossible to get, like, for her birthday.
Like, among everything else, really, around that time. Yeah.
And I was able to get him one. But yeah, honestly, end of life Direct, right? And you were talking about the new console coming out, which is going to be as powerful as the PS4 and the Xbox One, in beautiful Nintendo fashion, always a generation behind. But again, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, how I feel like that doesn't really matter, because like the jump from the PS4 to the PS5 was so minuscule that I feel like this next console is finally going to be like a super like modernized enough Nintendo console. I just hope they don't drop the hybrid model. I hope they keep doing that.
I hope their dashboard looks better. Fucking boring ass bare bones UI UX. Jesus fucking Christ.
The UI is effective, but I agree it is boring. Just give us themes. Be a dick, Nintendo. Nintendo, be a dick. Sell them. Sell themes.
Copy PlayStation, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just copy PlayStation's UI, like when in their home dashboard. Just copy the fucking thing like wholesale. Just do it.
Sell themes for real money. Just do it.
Just do it.
It's a shitty thing to do, Nintendo. But just
I'm
do
more
it.
than willing to pay for it.
Oh, like give me like a Mario 64 background.
Give me a Zelda one instead of fucking black and white.
Give me a
fucks.
Give me a Starfax one. Please.
Stop drinking all that sake you have like over in Japan and actually get off your ass and fix your damn UI. Not actually fix it, but make it look entertaining.
And basic black.
Basic black. Not even black though. It's like
5
gray.
years.
It's like dark gray.
Yo, I have to out my boy AJ here. He still uses basic white. I'm immeasurably disappointed in him. He uses like light theme for Twitter too. It's
God.
It's
how do your eyes not hurt? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I kind of hate him for it. Now, I'm sorry, AJ, but like I had to do it to you. I'm sorry.
David hates white people, even though he is himself a white person. I am a self-hating white person.
Well, why do you think I hate them? There you go.
I am me.
Yeah. But another thing that I'm willing to put, and if any DDE listeners want to have this little side bet with me, I mean, I don't know how we do this. I'm not going to drop my PayPal or my Venmo to a fucking on the internet. Metroid Prime 4 is a launch it's a launch title for the next console. 1000%. There's no fucking way it isn't. They're gonna do the Breath of the Wild thing and like the Twilight Princess thing, where they're gonna drop it for the new console, updated. It's gonna be listed in a direct and everything after all these years of no information about Metroid Prime 4. And then they're also gonna release it on the Switch. I'm telling you right now, that is what they're doing. Why release it for the end of life for the Switch? You're gonna sell that game as like the very end of the Switch's lifespan and then just expect people to drop, a lot more money for the new console after that? Mm-hmm. There's no way, man. Come on, you're saving it for updated hardware. Why wouldn't you if you had to start fresh? Yeah. Like in fucking like 2019 or wherever it was when you walked into Platinum Games and you said this shit is dog water and then just like had like another company start. Wait, no. Well, no, you went to Platinum Games afterwards, right? It's being developed by Platinum, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, whatever studio you went in that was making it before, because they hired a new studio and they didn't work out. So, yeah. I'm willing to put so much money on that just being like a launch title for the next one. They have no reason for that not to be, but if you don't have anything to say to that, I mean, we'll talk about more like remasters, I guess, because like, I'm still very satisfied with this Direct. I do still think it's an end of Switch life Direct for the most part. I think, come like, maybe the next Direct, but the one after that one. Actually, maybe the next one.
I feel as if though this next coming winter is going to be maybe the second to last maybe Direct of the year. I don't know. Like, I could see another one maybe during like Thanksgiving because holiday season wise, it's like, why wouldn't you?
Maybe. They usually only do these things like 2-3 times a year for a normal mainline Direct. If anything, I'd bet more money that they might announce a new console in February, and then...
Well, not the new console, but at least just like another Direct for just cause. Because like, there have been Directs where they have there have been a lot of Directs where a lot of the stuff that was announced was just straight up nothing. So like this could be just another one of those too, like for the end of this year. I could see it, honestly.
People felt this one was, even for people who like aren't fans of like Thousand Year Door or like Paper Mario fans, they probably didn't care about that announcement. But Nintendo understands how like huge that is for a lot of people, so that's why they saved it. I disagree. I think that if they were to announce the next console, I think they're saving it for the next one, and then they're just going to drop the console in holiday of next year. That's my guess.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying though, for this next Direct that I'm predicting will be coming for the like last couple months of this year, it's just gonna be like a nothing one. I could see the announcement of it being like maybe further down the line, early next year, just because like. Well, I mean, I was gonna say like, maybe like closer towards like or during next year would be better, just so at least like we could like just generate the hype a bit more.
Right.
But I mean, they could just do it like, you know, for this one that I'm thinking for this year as well.
Like a summer direct and like a summer direct to announce the next console. Con.
Or even spring.
Maybe.
Because I even think thematically it makes sense because Japan and the way they think about spring is like it's rebirth and all of that. Start of a new year and everything.
That's
Cherry blossoms blooming and everything. I can see them doing it.
Maybe like an April direct, like a nice April one. That makes sense.
Because that's usually around when like the cherry blossoms like bloom. So like, and that's like a big thing for them as well. Like it's like their way of saying like, okay, winter's over and spring's here. So I mean, I'm not betting, but I'm just saying it. I predict probably an early like spring or middle of spring direct where they're gonna reveal the new console. And
look, I'm just saying, man. Like Hitomi is a Twitch streamer now. Like, just please let her host one.
Host one what? A direct?
Yeah.
She not kid friendly?
Why? Just because she has like massive titties?
Yeah.
She was born with those, boy. Like, what? We expect her to like?
You think Nintendo care? Nintendo fucking jailed a man for like fucking pirating their damn games.
They made an example of her.
Yeah, exactly. They're a mob. Bro, everyone loves to think like, oh, these big ass companies are like a family loving fucking entity. They're fucking the mafia, but through official channels.
Well, look at Disney. I mean, Disney is like, if you all hate Nintendo for some of the shit that they've done,
you gotta hate Disney too.
Yeah. Please do not be one of those dumb fucks who thinks Nintendo is more evil than Disney. Like, you are so
They're all
ignorant.
evil.
Yeah, but
they all evil.
No, Disney's worse though, man.
Nintendo would poison a fucking lake if it meant that Mario would be more popular than it already is somehow. They would do it.
No.
They made an bro. Have you ever heard a man going to jail for a lifetime like this guy did? That was more than an example. That was a message to everybody.
You talking about
do this shit and get caught?
You talking about the guy that like they're taking like 30% of his salary for the rest of his life?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't go to prison. They're just taking his money.
Bro, that's another form of prison.
Well, it is. It absolutely is. But like Disney is like back pocket Hollywood. That's way more evil than anything Nintendo has ever done.
Nah, they is a part of it. Not even back pocket no more.
Hollywood is ran by fucking pedophiles, dude. Like, that shit is way worse than anything Nintendo's done.
You think Bob Iger never touched a kid? Come on, David. He probably touched a kid. I'm sure of it.
That's what I'm saying!
Yeah, so what? Like, you said back pocket. I didn't understand that. Like, what'd you mean by that?
I meant, like, you know, Disney's got, like, you know, they're like Hollywood evil.
Oh, no, yeah, obviously. Of course. Fucking of course.
And that alone trumps anything Nintendo has done. Even fucking, like, taking, like, the money as an example, dude.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair. Alright, yeah.
And dude, not to defend Nintendo, there's a part of me that still straight up doesn't believe that. I still think they might have, like, paid off, like, the press or some shit to, like, just really, like, scare people because of how Nintendo is about, you know, fucking piracy and copyright
emulation
shit. And it's funny enough, that guy literally ran a syndicate of like people that you send your Switch to mod and jailbreak and stuff like that. And funny enough, the company, quote unquote, that you could say that he even ran was super sketch. Like they weren't good at what they did. They'd brick switches, they'd like lock switches and stuff like accidentally. They weren't even good at like modding and like jailbreaking switches and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say the guy deserved to have like that much of his money stolen forever, but at the same time, it's like he deserved at least some sort of punishment, if not, you know, even like for like, you know, pirating switches or whatever, but being bad at it. Like, fair. I don't know. Fair. Whatever. You want to talk about the big ass door some more, like that giant ass fucking door that they got sitting underground? You want to talk about that? The 1,000-year door, you jackass. The big ass
Bro, I just finished work. I'm tired.
Yeah, you want to pull a double shift? Is that what you want to do today? You want to pull a double for the fucking DDE? That's what you said?
I should have
gotten a whole other episode to fucking record after this, fucko.
I should have gotten a coffee. Fuck.
We can get one in the middle. I'm not gonna record straight through.
I kind of do.
Yeah. Not gonna record straight through because then the file might corrupt.
I feel a little psycho bread today.
You feel a little psycho mantis?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Is that your fighting style, psycho mantis?
No, my fighting style is spitting in your eye and like running away.
My fighting style is Gandhi.
You just take your dick off and smack people with it.
Yeah, that's what Gandhi did.
Anyways, moving on real quick. And yes, going back to how this direct was basically remake the direct or direct the remake. I don't know.
But it was like, good ass remakes.
No, that's the thing. That was the only thing that was great.
You know how powerful a game has to be
to get a remake.
How much it is not even to get a remake, but like how much it has to touch our hearts and remain in our brains, like that impacted our youths and our lives for it to be Nintendo's. Oh, and one more thing.
Oh yeah, they're concluding. Yeah.
That is how fucking powerful Thousand Year Door is. I don't know if I want to talk to the people who've never played the game before, who will get to experience it, or just rejoice in the fact that a new generation of kids are going to be able to play a fucking Mario RPG like that.
Oh, two
even.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that, and this is the reason, obviously beyond the fact that, I guess pirating modern games is illegal, even though it means there's a demand for a service or a company is doing something wrong. Please do not pirate the Mario RPGs. Please. They're testing grounds.
Or
Thousand Year Door sells more than Origami King, which it probably will anyway.
Oh, no,
if I'm keeping it a buck.
I'm honestly thinking the game's gonna be carried by its older fans.
There's enough of us. I
know psychos will fucking buy 2 of them. I bought 2 of Legacy Collection from Battle Network. There are fucking crazy people like me that'll do it.
Yeah, it's because they lost your other one in the mail.
Yeah, and then I ended up buying it twice anyways.
What you just fucking said was basically the equivalent of being like, oh yeah, I didn't fight Nam so we could raise a whole new generation of pussies. And then it's like that fucking Always Sunny joke where it's like, dude, you went to Vietnam in 1989 on a business trip.
It is not that way. I am not.
And a lot of good men died in that sweatshop.
I am not setting that example. All I'm saying is that there are people out there that will buy 2 copies just because they will do it.
I will walk into the Target and swear on my life that I am not a scalper. Please let me buy 5 copies because I want this game to kick ass.
Can you also buy me one and I'll just Venmo you?
Go to the fucking store. Get out of your hole and go to the store yourself. Lazy piece of shit.
I can't leave my hole. It's my safe space. It's my safe space.
Make Target your safe space.
No. Target's got people.
Alright, fine. Make Best Buy your safe space.
Best Buy's got people too. I don't want to go.
Go to the one that's in that little tiny shopping center in that it's behind in Paramus, because there's 2 Best Buys in Paramus. Go to the second one. No one ever goes to that Best Buy.
Just get it for me. Come on. I'll Venmo you.
I will get it for you if you get off your ass and come to my house and get your flask.
Okay.
Don't you want that before you leave for Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay.
I'd like to fall asleep on an 18-hour plane ride.
Okay, good. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap this up in a bit because we're not gonna make this one a bit a long one. The other episode maybe, but
I'm not even sure what else to talk about. I mean, I would like to talk about the Peach game a little, but there's really not too much to say. I think it looks adorable. I think it looks fun. I think fucking Musketeer Peach is adorable. That shit is hilarious. What else? I don't know. I like that they're, making a game like that. They're, giving Peach another game for her to star in after all this time, which is pretty cool. Graphically, it looks awesome. It looks like Luigi's Mansion 3 quality, which is, pinnacles of, pretty much the best graphics on the Switch, I should say. So the fact that they're saving that for the Peach game is awesome, because I don't know if you noticed something, Dennis. You and I grew up with the GameCube.
Yeah.
You ever play, the Mario parties or, the Mario sports games on that console? We've literally played that together. I've streamed it, right?
Yeah, we played 4.
Don't you hate the fact that, Peach and Daisy have literally 0 facial expression in those games? Their face are just, stiff like dolls? Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
Their face never changes. Even as a kid, that bothered me. Now as an adult, I'm looking at like all the shit that they do with Peach and like how they actually like keep her design faithful, but like I don't know, make her jaw move. It's nice. I'm glad that Peach's jaw moves now. It's pretty hype.
One thing that GameCube did a lot that or a GameCube era, I guess like Nintendo characters in general that they did a lot was one big example for me at least was in Sunshine. And I didn't realize this until I watched like a Let's Play from like a while back, and they pointed this out, that there's a lot of times in Sunshine where a lot of the characters just have this like fucking gawk-eyed stupid stare. Like this 1,000-mile stare that they do all the time. This expressionless, like nothing going on behind those eyes, like look in them.
Especially
just,
Peach, right?
Yeah, especially Peach. Peach looks as if she was like fuck, like she just like did like a whole line of cocaine and like is just had, or I don't even know. Like that's how you know I'm not a fun person because I don't do drugs. But like I don't know,
Wow.
like you know, because she just looks like she's just gone from this earth.
She has like government funded Molly, dude. Like it's. You know that like she's got like a whole fucking sect in that garden back there. There's a certain hour where the garden's closed and like no Mushroom Kingdom residents can visit that shit no more. And
Well, you know what I'm saying,
that's
right?
She sends her special gardeners out there to grow that government shit.
There's special toads to get the other toads to
Yeah.
go and pick those toads. Like
Yeah.
that's like you know what I'm talking about, right?
But then
Like,
you
they
saw
just-
like the trailer for like the Princess Peach Showtime, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
And she's just people hate Peach. I hate her less now. She's fucking adorable. I don't care. She's so cute. Come on. She's no Daisy.
I didn't say she's not. But
Well, I'm just thinking back to episode 99 where we like, you know, debated about like the fuck, marry, kill between Peach, Daisy, and Rosa, and like we all universally agreed like, yeah, kill Peach.
oh yeah, like
But
because
at
we
the
all
same time,
you know, we said Peach was just it looked like the girl who like, you know, she wouldn't like when she asks you, hey, like, you want to get your dick sucked? It's not like Daisy where like, you want me to suck your cock? Peach would be like, you want me to suck your cock? See, there's a big difference in attitude there. Like, that's Peach. She has no enthusiasm.
that's not even the thing that I love about Daisy so much. Is like, you know, I always said that Daisy is like, if you ever asked her
Daisy
to
would rip off your clothes without even you saying anything.
Well, yes, and she'd do it with her teeth, and beyond the fact that that's sexy and primal, I just respect Daisy. Because
Where's that double standard, though?
What are you talking about?
Because you know, if apparently, we did that, it's like, but when women do it, she's so fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's because like women can get away with that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a double standard there.
It's not really a double
What
standard.
if I didn't want to fuck that day? What if I'm so fucking tired I don't even want to do anything? She's like, nah, give me your clothes.
You shouldn't
Like,
have dated Daisy then, because you know what you fucking signed up for.
So it's my fault. Oh,
For Daisy,
okay.
yes, because she's fucking insatiable, dude. You know how she is.
I love how we just made it canon that like fucking Daisy's like a straight up deviant, like a tomboy deviant.
It's not us. It's the whole internet treats her like that.
That's fair. Rule
not even that
34. Do make the character though, TBH. You know what I
It's
mean?
not-
Overwatch fans.
It's not even that. It's just Daisy is straight up the kind of girl where one of two things is going to happen, because obviously it's a rude thing to ask if you're a stranger, but like Daisy is the kind of girl where if like you're with her, right? You ask her to do anal, her instinct is to what she would tell you to bend over.
Fair.
And I fucking respect the shit out of that. I'm not saying I'd let her do it. Not that I'd be able to stop her if I'm keeping it a stack. But like, I'd also like, this is so stupid.
Yo, we're done. We're done.
You know what I mean? Princess
I know
Peach
what you mean.
Showtime looks fun. So I guess to finally wrap here, Thousand Year Door
I don't know where I was going
remaster.
with that.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying the Peach game looks adorable. They made her a little baker. She's like a little musketeer. She's going through different shows. It looks cute. I want to play the shit out of it. And plus, Super Princess Peach was a broken ass game. That game was so good back on the DS. For a fucking Prince Mario spin-off, the movement had no business being that good. But yeah, really, we already know what the highlight of the direct for us is. We're gonna wrap on that. Thousand Year Door remaster. It's actually happening, and it could be ushering in a new era for Nintendo, depending on how it sells. Which is why I'm asking you to please don't fucking pirate that game. Please just buy it if you're somebody.
Buy it and then pirate it.
No, don't listen to the fucking Asian guy in the corner who never leaves his house and asks me to buy games for him because he's too fucking lazy to do it.
I want you to deliver it right to my house. You would hate my staircase going up to my fucking floor. You would fucking hate it. Like, you would just take a look at that and you'd probably just chuck the damn thing at, like, as far as you can.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not going to see it. Because you're buying the game yourself, you fucking lazy-ass bitch. Alright. Please buy the 1,000 Year Door remaster. If you haven't played the game before, I promise you are in. You are in for the most magical experience of your life. We never even talked about, like, why the game is so beloved. We never even mentioned...
Yeah, we just kind of said, like, yo, it's so hyped that it's coming out.
Yeah, we never even, like, mentioned to, like, why it's such a beloved game. And it, you know, the music is incredible. The turn-based system is peak. The aesthetic is wonderful. The story is remarkable. And then each individual chapter tells a different story, all conglomerated into one big one. It's got a giant, big connected overworld. 8 unique partners in the game. 8? No, there's only 7 in 1,000 Year Door. There's 8 in the original, my bad. 7 partners in 1,000 Year Door, each with their own, like, unique personalities and stuff like that. It's just, the game was legit peak storytelling. That I feel like it's probably going to hit even as an adult. I don't think I played 1,000 Year Door as an adult. So, it's going to be interesting playing it again like that. So, if you're one of those very few people who's, like, upset that, like, early access tech analyzed, quote-unquote, the trailer, like, fucking gaming journalism, whatever, and said that, oh, the game looks like it's 30 FPS, and it's better to just emulate the original then. I would say I can't stop you, but please just don't let that fucking stop you. Because, like, literally everything else is so better. The visuals are incredible. Like, the quality of life things are there, too. I don't know if you noticed in the shot where, like, you see Hooktail, you see Koops from the back. They didn't. The partners in the original game did not have back models.
Oh, right.
They didn't have back models.
Oh my
now
god,
they do.
yeah.
So, like, you know that they're fixing, like, the little quality of life shit as well, like those little minute details and whatnot.
Very true.
I really can't even just fucking describe it. It is such a magical, magical game. And Mario RPG is the same way, which, you know, Nintendo's not releasing both at the same time.
Yo, Nintendo really squeezing us for our wallet.
Dude.
Like, honestly.
If we get a new Mario RPG, or new Paper Mario, or whatever, in the style, like, of the old games, where they really, like, work to make a good, fleshed-out story, instead of the creative limitations that they gave to Paper Mario for years, I think, the reason I'm saying all this, because this is, like, a testing ground. This is what Nintendo's doing. This is a testing ground. I'm sorry, but, like, to all the people who, like, steal shit or whatever, but, like, the only language that corporations understand
money
is those fucking dollar bills. I'm sorry. The only thing they understand is money.
Why did you build another Krusty Krab right next to the original? Money.
So tell me, Activision Blizzard, why did you create a second Overwatch game that's exactly like the original? Money.
Also, I'm gonna say one last thing. We're gonna end it here.
Yes.
I also personally feel that this next console that they're making is also gonna be basically just another upgraded Switch.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I hope so.
And here's the thing. It's gonna be backwards compatible too. And here's why. There is no reason at all to go to an entire another ecosystem again. There is not. They have already basically corrected themselves from the Wii U. The Switch is obviously far more successful than the Wii U ever was. And honestly, this is something that you should build off of, not entirely scrap. It honestly would make no sense that they like spend how much money now to perfect this damn thing. Like the Switch just overall as like a console platform. Mm-hmm. There is no reason to fucking like can it entirely now. I think it basically like these last couple of years since the Switch has been around has essentially proved to them that like, okay, no, we could build off of this. And for one, there is less costs to just improving on an existing platform compared to, let's say, throwing a ton of money to R&D to build an entirely new platform. It like financially speaking, again, because Nintendo is all about money. At least that's just their main language as a company. They're gonna go for the option that's gonna like obviously make them more money. And building an entire new platform makes no fucking sense financially. Because for one, we've already got a banger. The Switch is a banger. Let's just build off of it. Change up the logo a little bit. Obviously, update the fucking capabilities of the new console and everything. And then that's it. And make the shit like still using the stupid chips. That's even also another I know I have a very strong feeling that they did that because that also cut costs for them too. And again, like why again like change the entire fucking platform for what? You already proved this shit is great. It's cheap and it also makes you money. Just build off of it and make more money. Don't you like money? So like at least that's my like closing thoughts on that. Like yeah. I would easily get this game, like the 1,000 Year Door remake, on top of also new console if I could play in it, like play the older Switch games on that new console as well. I'd fucking jump on that like nothing. Cause here's the thing, like I know people may even argue like, well, I mean, even if they didn't do that, you'd still buy the console too. Yeah, but my desire would be far greater, and at the very least, it's like you are just winning at that point because for PlayStation and even Xbox, a lot of their older stuff can't even be played on their new console. And not to mention, it's like for a lot of what do you call it? For even PlayStation's example, they have a lot of older games that from PS4 where they ported it over to PS5, and it's like they also kind of did that knowing that, oh, don't you want to play on the most like updated like graphics and hardware? And they also like knew they were gonna buy it anyways. Like God of War had already come out for PS4. It had also come out in PS5, and people bought it for the PS5. They bought it twice. They bought that shit twice. And that was also cause it's like the whole enticing thing of like, oh, don't you want to play on newer hardware with better graphics and all of that? And it's a very like, it is manipulative, and I kind of like get why I do understand why it works, but it's like Nintendo can also just not do that, but still win hella hard for that upcoming year. If they just announce that, oh yeah, by the way, this shit's also backwards compatible to the older Switch. You're welcome. Fucking crowd will go nuts. I guarantee you. Internet would also just be like sucking the dicks of Nintendo like they always have. Although, to be fair, this would be something that is warranted considering I like backwards compatibility. I always have. And I think also one last thing. I have a very strong feeling, a very fucking strong feeling, that a lot of Nintendo 64 games are just not going to get remakes. I have a very strong feeling for one reason only. Because of the live streaming service. Like, they're going to argue, well, we already have it on there. Just buy the service and you could play. Like, why do we need to make a remake for this? For what? Like, Paper Mario 64, I feel as if that's coming to the expansion pack. I guarantee later on down the road.
Already on there.
It's already on there. There you go. That already tells me, like, okay, yeah, they're not going to fucking remake that.
It makes me think, like, are they ever going to, like, port GameCube games then? If they're still consider the GameCube, like, enough to, like, remaster these games instead? Or is, like, they're just remastering 1,000 Year Door because of the reasons we said earlier? They don't want to just port it in comparison to the new Paper Mario games. Because, like, I agree with what you're saying, man. Nintendo is in, like, such a unique position. They're finally going to have a modern console, or a console that's, like, modern enough to, like, you know, today's standards.
Yeah.
But how are you just gonna... They're not gonna abandon the Switch after all this work they took, rebuilding themselves up after the horrid Wii U era. Nintendo sucked so much back then. It's insane how, like, you know, how much of a rut they were in because of that thing. Mm-hmm. And the Switch just really, like, it rose them back from the ashes, you know, to being the kings of what they once were once again. And after doing all these new amazing games, all these ports and remasters, like more than they've ever ported and remastered in the history of their life, like on a console like the Switch, to just throw all of that out in lieu of like, here's our new modern console, buy this, and like fuck everything else that was back there. They're not going to do that. I think one of two things is going to happen. They're going to make an updated Switch, which everybody is saying it is. I don't think they should abandon the hybrid model either. Why get rid of that? Why get rid of that and just like make like a normal console again? Like literally why? Or they're going to do that, and it's going to be backwards compatible. It's going to be great. Or they are just going to release a console, no backwards compatibility, and keep supporting the Switch. But then, I feel like if they
why would you support two ecosystems?
Yeah, then less people are going to buy the new console then, because they'll feel like I already have a Switch. And the only thing stopping them from doing it would be their new exclusives. I really don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be a Switch 2.
It's going to be a Switch. It's going to be a Switch 2, but like it's in terms of abandoning the old, like the Switch ecosystem. Are they going to abandon it? I can't see them
doing it.
Are they going to literally just, port everything from like the old console over to the new one? Or are they going to just separate the two consoles and support two ecosystems?
It's like, why would you want to build another building when you already have a solid foundation for one already? Just build on top of that. The fuck? Like, why?
I suppose. It's so hard to tell with them.
It is, but I also just feel like, just think of them as a company. If I was a guy trying to pitch like a new console, right? And I'm telling them that, we got to build this shit from scratch. Nobody wants to hear that ever. Just the costs of that alone would cause everyone to go, oh, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. Just because, like, at least R&D, like, and I mean, they haven't already had, like, plenty of years to, like, I mean, they've already had, like, a demo. Nintendo, like, execs, they already got a demo of it, and they do like it, so, it's coming. It's already been made. It's not, like, even a question anymore. It's already been made. And, I really also still feel that just because of the way they are, like, just as, like, again, as a company, no company ever wants to build a lot of shit from scratch. They'd rather just kind of build on top of what they've already have. As far as at least, them being like a gaming company, and plus like just what, we know their platform as. Again, it would make no sense for them to just kind of fucking completely like gut it and just make something from scratch. It makes no fucking sense. And to be fair, if that was the case, that they were building something from scratch, then we would not be getting this announcement next year. I guarantee it. Shit like that takes so long to fucking make. And at least we're talking from scratch. It takes so long to make. And like way longer than like the time frame that we have for next year of this thing maybe being announced. It's like it's not, it just can't, in my opinion. I'm willing to bet money on that too. Like it's just gonna be like a Switch 2, it's backwards compatible, it can play all your older games. And But this is the only one that can play our new ones. Our newer games, which people will still buy anyways. That's fine. Like as long as I could still bring my library from my older version to this one, they're not gonna care. They'll pay that $350 or $400. They'll pay it.
The Switch's library is just too fucking rich to just like throw in throw back like that. It's just full on stop supporting. But we've also said that about a lot of I don't know. I want to say that we've said that about Nintendo consoles in the past, and then eventually they just shut down their eShops again and stopped supporting their old ones, which goes back to the issue of piracy, because you can only play certain games by emulating them because there's no way to buy them, and Nintendo doesn't release every game on a service anymore. I don't know. My head's spinning in circles at this point. They're too unpredictable. Yeah. I want to agree with you, though, that no matter what they do, whether they port things over or if they just keep continuing to support the Switch after the new console, they're not just going to... I want to say that they're not going to up and abandon the old library. They've just spent too many years just building it up, making it the behemoth that it is. They can't just throw that away to be like, hey, want to play Metroid Prime 4? Here. You can't do that for just one thing.
Here's an example, though. Nintendo has done this already, and it was with the DS. The DS went through how many fucking iterations until we finally got to the 3DS that we, but basically was the last one until, basically until they canned it. But, that went on for fucking years because, one, again, they built on top of it. It was a successful platform, and at the very least, the 3DS came out, it could still play your older DS games. It's gonna be the same thing. It's just there's the whole fear of the whole eShops being closed and all that, but I almost still feel that the eShop will be carried over to this new one.
And
that you could still buy your older games, or you could still buy older games that are digital download only onto this new one on top of our new shit. It's just more money in the end anyways.
I forgot how successful the 3DS was, and I forgot that it was backwards compatible with DS games at
first. The Switch is in that same category. It's the same. It's going to be the same thing, in my opinion.
I certainly hope so. Because, we just doubt it with the Wii U at first because of how poorly the thing sold, I guess. But then I completely forgot about the 3DS and how it was backwards compatible with DS games first. And then eventually the new models weren't, but that's probably way later on down the line.
Yeah, because it went from like, you could play GBA games into it, but then the new 3DS consoles, you could only play older DS games, but not GBA.
And then the new Nintendo 3DS is like the very latest models, upgraded ones. They couldn't play DS games at all. So I think maybe that'll happen with maybe like the fucking Switch 3, maybe. But I comparing it to the 3DS, you're right. I think that's what's going to happen. I think this next one is just going to be like literally just a super duper updated Switch, and we're not going to abandon the Switch library yet. But then the next generation maybe, or like the later iterations of the Switch 2 will slowly phase it out once the Switch 2's library is big enough by itself.
Because it's all cyclical by the end of the day. Because like they're going to want always to just at first improve on what they already have, and then when it's time, then okay, we'll throw in our money and R&D to build a new thing, an entirely new thing. That's how I feel it's gonna happen. Like this year it's gonna be the new Switch 2. Later on down the road, maybe towards like the Switch 3 or whatever, that's when it's gonna be like, okay, new ecosystem entirely. I am not excited for that day, but like, at least for this one, you can rest assured. I'm telling you this right now. You can rest assured that it will like just be the case of the DS, where we're gonna get just a new updated thing, plays the new games and the old games, and does the same shit that the last one did. It's a hybrid model, same thing. Rest assured. That's from me.
I concur. We're done. Here's the plugs. There you go. Boom. Follow Spotify, please. Leave us a quick rating on phone, if you could. 5 stars. If you could. Takes literally 2 clicks. You don't have to write nothing because you literally can't write nothing on it. So just go to Spotify on mobile. Go to the Double D experience where it hits the stars with the 5-ish. Just give us a 5-star rating. Helps our SEO a lot. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts if you prefer. Follow us on Twitter at Double D Pod, and also on Instagram at the Double D Experience 21. And also, for most of you listening, give us a subscription here on youtube.com/Nintoonist. And also like the video if you want to, that'd be sublime. And comment down below what your favorite part of the Direct was, and or what you think Nintendo's next console is going to be like. I promise you we read them. You might think we don't, but we do. Dennis reads them. I know he does.
Yeah, I just don't reply.
Yeah. He doesn't do that social media shit.
Why are you making me out to be an asshole?
I didn't say I didn't. I was trying to butter you up. I was saying he doesn't do that social media shit. That's a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, especially nowadays. That's true.
Please play the 1,000 Year Door remaster. I promise you'll love it. It's one of the most magical Nintendo games ever made.
Do not pirate it.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Or if anything, just buy it, then pirate it.
Ignore.
Do that at least. If you're gonna pirate it, just buy it first and then pirate it, okay?
There's
you really want your frames, just buy the fucking thing first.
That wouldn't even change the frames.
Nah, because, everyone, like, at least on that new emulator that they have for the Switch, people have been cracking games open with those. And, like,
really?
They actually unlocked the frame rates for Breath of the Wild. Oh. Which, should have probably shipped with 60 frames anyways, but, whatever. What can I do about it?
Yeah. And then the next Nintendo console will run everything at 60. And then the next Nintendo illegal emulator will run everything at 120.
It's going to be so funny. Like, fucking Nintendo, like, cocksuckers are just going to be like, oh my god, we have 60 frames at last! And, like, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players are like, yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Plugging their fucking AK DisplayPort into the back. Yeah. Whatever, I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I like my 60 frames. I don't care if it's 30 frames. My eyes can't tell the difference.
Alright, guys, we're gonna leave now.
Yeah, bye.
Before David says something stupid.
I gotta stretch.
Bye.
Bye.